The next senator
was up here.
from the state of Kentucky in District 37, Gary Clemens.
Southwest Jefferson County just elected its newest state senator. Democrat Gary Clemens ran away with that low turnout special election. Officials called the race for Kentucky's vacant 37th Senate district seat for Clemens just an hour after the polls closed. Clemens, an Army veteran and local labor union president, defeated Republican Calvin Leach and Libertarian Wendy Higdon. He won 73% of that vote. Leach with 25%, Higdon with 2%. Here's a look at Kentucky's 37th Senate district. We are talking about the Southwest Jefferson County neighborhoods like Shively, PRP, Valley Station, and some of Fairdale. And with the chilly weather and Christmas next week, the special election drew a pretty low 7% turnout. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash. Now, only about 5,200 people voted. Regardless, the seat matters, especially since 2026 is a budget year for Kentucky. Clemens takes over for David Yates, who is now serving as the interim Jefferson County clerk. Out of the gate, Clemens said he is going to represent the working class in Frankfort and pledged to work to bring funding to the South End. Clemens will join 5 other Democrats in the Kentucky Senate with more than 30 Republicans on the other side. Clemens said he wants to push aside the partisanship.
Just sit down, having normal conversations with them. You know, try to stop this division. Once you get elected, you should really forget the party and understand you're elected for the people. So I'm going to bring the mentality of, like I do at the bargaining table, and that is, we all can be successful.
Clemens will finish the remaining 3 years of Yates' term starting next month. Metro Councils agreed to discuss rezoning the property of the former Givaudan plant in Louisville's Clifton neighborhood. Last night, the council passed a resolution that will allow the Planning Commission to consider changing the property's zoning from an industrial use to something more appropriate for a residential neighborhood. 2 people died in an explosion at that plant a little more than a year ago last November. 11 others were injured and nearby homes damaged. The cause, a faulty vent on a cooking vessel. Neighbors who attended last night's meeting said they don't feel safe considering a previous deadly explosion at that same site in 2003. Givaudan has already said it would not rebuild there on Payne Street again.
I'm a little bit opposed to doing a resolution to downzone a property. And I think it's a harmful way that sets a bad precedent. I think Metro government can do a better job of holding accountability on properties with binding elements and things to ensure that this never happens again.
In this case, I think it's extremely a unique situation, and I think, frankly, it's the least we as Metro government we can do to respond to what my constituents have asked for.
The council's vote ended in 17 yes votes and 9 no votes. The adopted resolution will allow for public hearings and comments ahead of any official rezoning of that property. Just a few days ago, we've had, bitter temperatures out there, Matthew, down to almost 0 degrees in some areas. Today, in the 50s, quite the change up.
Yeah, it surely is. Crazy to think that 50 degrees feels warm to us, but
yeah,
it feels nice outside, at least for us this afternoon. We'll finally see some sunshine return back into the forecast as well. But yeah, temperatures stepping out the door, lower 50s out there for you. 51 degrees here in Louisville, 52 degrees in Shepherdsville, and even down to Campbellsville, 53 degrees. Overall, as you look at your satellite and radar, I did see some light sprinkles this morning, but those clouds are starting to move out, and we got some nice sunshine just behind it that will continue throughout the afternoon and evening hours. It's really widening the picture out, really not seeing much rain out there or snow into the northern portion of the United States, especially into the Midwest, but that will change as we head towards tomorrow. As we look at that hourly planner, we'll see temperatures well into the lower 50s, possibly even to the mid 50s this afternoon. And back into this evening, 44 degrees, as we'll start to drop off a little bit, but those overnight lows, really not much we're talking about when it comes to the colder weather, only into the lower 40s for overnight lows. So it'll be a little bit warmer than what we see and not as frigid. So above freezing, so any snow you may have left around your area definitely going to melt as we go towards this afternoon back into tonight. But we are tracking our next rain chance as we head towards at least tomorrow. So not only we're tracking a rain chance, but also rain, windy, and a big cold drop on the way for us as we head towards your Thursday. So lots to talk about, and we'll be breaking all that down coming up in just a few minutes. Back over to you, Brooke.
Immediately I could smell the smoke, and our neighbors next door were outside, and then we could see all of the flames just going up into the sky. You could tell it was a big fire.
A witness describing the moments she saw an East apartment complex on Westport Road go up in flames. It happened Tuesday afternoon when a collision sent a car sliding into that apartment complex. Today, people who'd been living there are now without a home. St. Matthews Fire Chief Nick Clark said it was a chain of events that led to this. From that crash at Westport Road and Langdon Drive, sending a car toward the building and into a gas meter. And that's what caused that fire to expand and get so big.
So you've got a gas-fed fire that is feeding into now what is a combustible structure, and it got such a quick head start on us. And we were here in a minute, and it took us around 50 people to get this fire under control in an hour.
Officials said no one was severely injured, adding the flames caused the roof to collapse. The American Red Cross said it reached out to both the landlord and tenants impacted, but they were told the landlord is working on getting those people who lost homes into new units. And now to that deadly shooting at Kentucky State University last week. 48-year-old Jacob Bard from Evansville, Indiana, appeared in court yesterday. He's accused of shooting 2 KSU students, killing one of them and injuring the other. A detective with the Frankfort Police Department said Bard's son is a KSU student, and the 2 victims were part of an altercation involving other students. At the same time of that shooting, they said Bard's son was on the ground. He and his wife were at KSU to pick him up after the son had told them he'd been assaulted.
So, would you agree that from your investigation, it was Mr. Bard and his wife were assured by campus security, dean, administration that they would be safe and that they would be given an opportunity and allowed to remove their children from the residence hall safely?
According to a detective, the Bard family was being escorted by campus police when that fight between the 2 groups broke out. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is trying to get a leg up on violence inside the courtrooms. The office is forming a specific Judicial Threat Assessment Center, or JTAC unit. Deputies said it'll identify credible threats to judges and inside the courthouse early and intervene before those situations escalate. It won't require any additional detectives, and members in that unit will only be assigned threats that come into the courthouse. Chief Deputy Steve Healy added that while threats to judges are often documented internally, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes.
So this is all inclusive for anyone that participates in the legal process within the walls of the Jefferson County, either circuit court or district court, and their protection, if need be, outside of it.
Now, the sheriff's office says they are often the first to notice any escalating behaviors in the court.